Hey friends, welcome back to Llamamakayla's Yarn Tube. I hope you're all having a great day. I want to thank you for stopping by for a visit today. I wanted to talk with you guys about amigurumi books, or crochet books, but mainly amigurumi books is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so I went through my books and picked out some that I thought were good beginner books, and so I want to just go through and talk about these books with you guys and tell you my thoughts on them. These books are in no particular order. I'm just grabbed up some books. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I do have a little stack here that I want to talk about today. First book I'm going to talk about is Crochet Cute Critters, and this book is by Sarah Zimmerman, and that is Repeat Crafter Me. You can find her online at repeatcrafterme.com. She has a blog. She also has a YouTube channel. This book is 26 easy amigurumi patterns, and I would say these patterns are easy. They're very doable. The patterns are written in very understandable. I mean, if you understand SC equals crochet, you can do these books. It is written in US terms. I would say these patterns could be made in a couple of days. Now, I have made one of these patterns in 1 day's time, but that was just steadily crocheting and getting after it. And you may not have time to do that, but they definitely can be made in a day or two, maybe even 3 days. And you can complete these patterns. In this particular book, I was looking at the way she writes her patterns. It's very understandable. I was just 2 single crochets in the next stitch, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and repeat. So you would just repeat that over and over until you come to the end of the round. 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then single crochet in the third. So yeah, they're written very understandable. Like, you know, sometimes a book is written or a pattern is written and you're guessing what does that mean. This book, you won't be guessing. This book is fairly cheap. I don't know the price of most of these books, but I know this book is under $10 and you get 26 patterns. So that's a deal. You can look this up on Amazon, and here is the things you can make, but you can look it up on Amazon. I think you could even look inside the book. You can read the reviews. But I would say this is very much a beginner amigurumi book. And also, if you already make amigurumis, these are some ideas. You know, you can use a smaller hook. You can use a smaller yarn. You know, play around with it and make it your own. So that's one of the books. Okay, this book here, Whimsical Stitches. This is the first book I purchased. And I purchased this book before I even learned to crochet. I purchased it for the photos. But let me see. Let me look at a pattern here and just give you my honest opinion there. These patterns are written so easy to understand. Like, I don't think this book will leave you guessing. It says, Whimsical Stitches, a modern maker's book of amigurumi crochet patterns, Lauren Epsey. And I was trying to see if it tells what all is in the book or how many. There's different categories. There's in the garden, the aquarium, or at the aquarium, down on the farm, at the bakery, at the market. So there's different little categories there. And it's just some fun little items to make. Like I said, this was the first book I purchased, and I've made lots of things out of this book. I don't know the going rate of this book on Amazon right now, but I would say that it is worth it if you want to start making some amigurumis. Okay, another book that I find very reasonable for the price is Huggable Amigurumi. This is 40 fun patterns in this book. And the book is probably around 20 bucks on Amazon. I'm not exactly sure, but you can make all those things on the front. And let me see. Here's a picture of things you can make in this book. But if the book is $22, I'm not exactly sure. And it has 40 patterns in here, I think you get your money's worth. Because if you went on Etsy and bought patterns, they're going to be $2 or more. You know what I'm saying? These patterns are easy to follow along. So just read the direction, read that row, and do what that row says, and only that row. Don't worry about the rows coming up. Just worry about that one row at a time, and I believe you can do it. So I do recommend this book. Now, y'all are probably sick of me recommending this book. But I do love this book, and I think this is a great beginner amigurumi book. Plenty of Fish Under the Sea. It's by Olive at Stringy Ding Ding. I make stuff out of this book all the time. As y'all know, you're probably sick of seeing it. But it is a great book. There are 20 projects in here, and I think this book is around 20 bucks, maybe $2 or $3 more. But you get 20 patterns, you know what I'm saying? And these aren't tiny patterns. These are good handheld size. If you use the hook that she uses, I think, which is most of them, it's like a G hook, which is a 4mm. The patterns, they still come out a good hand size. You know what I'm saying? They're not tiny. Very playable if you're making them for kids to play with. These patterns in this book, you can't go wrong. Really, you can't. It's very easy to understand. I mean, row 4, increase, and then single crochet 2. So you increase in that stitch and single crochet in 2 stitches, the next 2, and then you just repeat that all around. Yeah, I mean, it's just really very understandable. Now these patterns, do have a little sewing, but we all know I don't sew. I glue. So I definitely recommend this. In this book, she tells you exactly where to place the eyes on the projects. Like it might say row 12, and then it'll tell you to take different colored yarn, like a contrasting color, and go back and pull the yarn through on stitch, like, let's just make this up, stitch 9 and stitch 14. She might, and then you keep on crocheting, and then whenever it comes down to where you need to start stuffing, and it'll say, place your eyes in the stitch markers. So you already have your yarn there. You know exactly where to put. Most patterns will say to put the eyes like between rows 11 and 12 and about 6 stitches apart or something like that. And you're still like, well, where, where do I do it at? No guessing with this book. She tells you exactly which stitch to put that eye in. And so they come out great. I love this book. I'll always recommend that book. Okay, so this book right here, A Happy Amigurumi. This book is some quick little makes. These patterns are very easy to understand, and they are simply written. So, you can really understand what it's saying. And these are quick items. Most of everything I'm looking at right here is just quick little simple quick items. It wouldn't take no time to make. I'm not sure the price of this book, but it is on Amazon. You can just search that name right there, Happy-Gurumi, and you'll pull it up and you can find it. It's probably about 20-ish books, because most books are about $20 now. But there are 20 patterns in this book, so that's $1 a pattern. You go on Etsy, how much are those patterns? $3.50, $4, $5. I see a lot of people, like, there'll be one little item, like, it's gonna be like this big, and they're like charging $5 or $5.99 for that pattern. So you may as well spend the other $15 and get 20 patterns. And I'm not saying people shouldn't charge for their patterns. They very well should. I know it takes a lot of work to design a pattern, but I'm just saying you get 20 patterns for your money. Okay, another book that I find that I recommend is Kawaii Crochet. Wanda gifted me this book, and I have made lots of things out of this book. It's fun the way this book is set up. Now, I will say the only drawback to this book is the print is very light. Like, there's going to be some things that are darker, like the round 1, round 2, round 3. That's dark print, but then the directions are light print. And I'm just going to show y'all a sample because I want y'all to see what I'm talking about. So unless I'm at my desk and I have the light on my book and everything, I have trouble just, seeing that very easily. But this book is very easy to follow along with. I would say it's very much a beginner book. Again, it's probably about, here on the back, that's about $20. And it's 40 patterns in this book. So you got a deal on your patterns that time. But I like the way this book is divided up into colors and the patterns and stuff. Okay, here's another great book. It's called The Big Book of Little Amigurumi. And again, this book is just full of little projects that doesn't take very long to make. And if you want, quick projects that you can make easily, this is a great book for that also. Okay, 72 patterns. I was looking to see how many. This has 72 patterns in it. And I'm sure this book is about around the 20 book mark too. $20 mark. But these patterns are written in plain English, single crochet in each stitch around. Single crochet 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So they're very easy to understand. It would be a great beginner book just for the fact that it's small, easy projects you can finish quickly, and it's 72 projects. Okay. Another book, I haven't made anything out of this book yet, but I pulled it down and looked at it, and the patterns are written very so cute. It's Huggable Amigurumi. The patterns are written really well in here. Again, I don't know the price, but you can find it on Amazon. You can look any of these books up on Amazon. This is 18 Cuddly Animal Softies, and this is one of the books that was gifted to me by Nancy. And this book has some really, really cute projects. And the patterns are easy to understand, and it's even kind of large print. So the row is in darker print than the pattern itself, but it's still it's not as light as that other book was. So anyway, the patterns are very readable. Single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches, and then single crochet 2 together. Repeat that 6 times. I mean, you can't get more simpler than that. But this book has a lot of really cute projects in it. Trying to see if there was a picture. I don't see a picture of all of them, but that would be for like a larger project. But still, I don't think it would take that long to make these projects. I think you could do these projects, or most people probably do these projects, in a couple of days' time, 2 or 3 days. Maybe it takes you a week, but still, you got a nice size project there. Okay, and the last book that I'm going to pull out is the Amigurumi books. This book was gifted to me by Alicia, and I very much like these books. They are easy to understand, but I don't think they're actually a beginner book because most of the projects have a lot of details. They have a lot of parts that need to be sewn on. So I wouldn't call it a beginner book, but once you get to making some amigurumis and you realize you're going to have to like put on these extra parts, whether you sew them or hot glue them, then you might want to start investing in these kind of books. But this particular book is the combination book of the 30 best love amigurumi patterns, because this amigurumi actually has 10 books. You can look these up on Amazon. There's 10 books, and what they did with this one is they went through all those books and picked out the favorites and then put them in this book. And so this book was a little more expensive than just the regular books, but I would say this book is very doable, but the patterns call for a lot of extra parts, and these aren't necessarily projects that's going to be done in a day. They're going to be longer term projects. They might take a week to get them done or something, you know what I'm saying? So, but it is a fun book, and it has very, very cute projects. I made that one, and actually it's right behind me, I believe. He came out of this book. This is Hamish the hamster. So that's it for my book recommendations for beginner amigurumi books. I'm going to say again that you can find any of these books probably on Amazon. You just need to search for them. And they were in no particular order, and I do not get anything for recommending these books or promoting these books. They're my books. They belong to me already. And I am just telling you my honest opinion of these books, that I think if you're wanting to start doing amigurumi, but you're curious of what books, here you go. And there are plenty of websites out there also that have beginner amigurumi websites. But mostly I use my books. I mean, I do have some downloaded patterns on my computer and stuff, and I do use some of those. But I'm trying to use my books for my